So let's just try and settle our minds. And, I was reminded during that time where I thought those people were stuck under the ocean with air running out of how incredibly fortunate we are just to be able to wake up and breathe. So anything beyond that is a bonus. So we can get a sense of gratitude in our heart as we settle our minds and actually take a nice deep breath. And remind yourself that you're alive. And however it is you're turning up this evening, whether you're feeling sad from the loss of friends or unwell, or maybe you're feeling down about something, or maybe you're just happy, it's all okay. Everything's going to be fine, just fine. So just settle your body. Make sure you're on your top of your sits bones, shoulders aligned with the hips, and just very gently lengthen the spine and kind of relax. From the top of the head all the way down to the toes. And bring the mind to the breath. Just get a sense of the air flowing in and out. Maybe you can feel it, sensations. Be aware of sounds. Try not to be distracted by sounds in your environment. Just kind of allow them to be there. And then notice what's arising in the mind and just allow it. Try not to judge. Try not to follow a story. Just let those thoughts arise, abide, and float away. And you can bring to mind all those people of your life, your loved ones, spouses, children, best friends, all these people that have helped us in our life, the ones we don't like so much, and then there's those folk who are total strangers to us, keeping in mind that they can change place at any time. People, the relationships, they're also equal, same as you and me, in their wish to be happy and their wish to be free from suffering. So we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life and for our dear friends who have passed, for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. So I think there is no negativity that cannot be purified, and this purification process is basically, it's a psychological one. So we're creating negativity with our mind, so why not create positivity instead? And that is up to us. We are in control of that, even though it feels difficult. But it's a matter of getting around those habits, these thought patterns that we have. And what we're doing in this practice is we're sort of undermining traditional, habitual ways of thinking that sometimes we bring in from another life. Sometimes we bring in from the way we were raised. So we're just trying to change the negative thought patterns, the habits. So we start with regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you've done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma, and we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of future suffering that we ourselves will experience And we know from the present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to pull out these karmic seeds, to remove them before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance. And we turn to, rely upon this Buddha Vajrasattva, who we know has these methods that we can use to purify ourselves. He has this kind of medicine we can use. So it's not that we are needing Vajrasattva to forgive us. We're not looking for a higher power. We are purifying ourselves by relying upon these methods. We can use his medicine. So here he is, this beautiful tanka. So you can imagine this tanka made of light, not flat, not a flat painting. It's just to give you an idea, a guideline. So you just get an image. You know, everything we look at, something to remember when we're watching whatever it is we're watching on the telly or our devices, it kind of gets imprinted on the mind. So even though you think, oh, I'll never be able to remember that, even if you've looked at it for 1 second, there's going to be some kind of an imprint, even if it's subconscious, on your mind. So just take sort of like heart from that. It's there, it's already in your mind. So you've imprinted this image on your mind. It's on the crown of your head. And if you can't remember, just imagine a ball of white light. So here's idea Vajrasattva, about a couple of inches above the crown of the head. You can also imagine that this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. So radiant light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has this beautiful radiant face. His eyes, you can imagine the eyes are sparkling. And they're long and they're full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. He has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently, in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then just think about maybe those people have harmed you, and the harm, and then just have some compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you will manifest as suffering for them sometime down the track. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the sake of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. So then we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine, doing the practice of purification. And so we can start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely, and it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid, and this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left, as you recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta Mebowa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sutta Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tathagata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dira Mebowa Sutokaya Mebowa Supokaya Mebowa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yata sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified. I think there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. So next is a purification of speech. And Vajra very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around, it forcefully enters your crown and fills you entirely. So this time, forcing up to the top of the body, all the negativity of your speech, and just imagine it all overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So you can think all the kind of inappropriate speech and lying, and gossiping and harsh speech and useless speech and talking badly about people behind their backs. You can imagine all of this is completely purified by this powerful nectar filling you. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan. Sawa tata gata vajramame mutsa vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hom pe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita. Dida meboa sitokaya meboa sipokaya meboa. Anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me. Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawa Siddhi Mimpi Yata Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. So every time they hear your voice, every time you hear your own voice, it benefits your mind. So next is a purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's just the same as when you walk into a pitch black room and you flick on that switch, the darkness is instantly dispelled. So imagine exactly the same. The light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, and all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, so all your attachment and neediness, depression, anxiety, bitterness, grudges, all of this instantly dispelled with this light and mantra. Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramame Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva Ahum Pe. So again, be so delighted that all your delusions, and this is all the source of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech. Imagine these are totally gone. And think there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. So imagine that Vajrasattva sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy from your mind as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Dida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuruhum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now feel you are completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So really just try and imagine this. Really feel it. And then think we come to the power of resolve, and quite an important step is this is where we make a decision to refrain from harming with our body and our speech and our mind. And so first of all, rejoice in your efforts, in the practice that you're doing. And then also think of something that you would like to work on, continue to work on, develop. This habit that we do have the power to get on top of. So we just need, and we've probably got many things that we could work on, but just choose something and start chipping away slowly. So Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wanting to merge with your mind, melts into light, dissolves and absorbs into you through your crown, and think that your teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and your own body, speech, and mind are the same thing. So next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on the emptiness of the three circles. And so you think like this: in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand this concept, emptiness, place your mind there for a little while. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate so all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, to all those friends of ours, dear friends of ours who've passed, to those 5 men who died so suddenly, so violently, for anyone who has transitioned, and for ourselves. Quick return of Rinpoche as we move along our spiritual path. So let's just, for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, the wish-granting, wish-fulfilling jewel, source of every single benefit and happiness in this world, to the incomparably kind Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be spontaneously fulfilled. Such a sweet photo of Rinpoche and His Holiness. And for Lamsa Rinpoche's swift return, peerless teacher and assembly of children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratikya Buddhas, victorious Losang, father and sons, together with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of the infinite lands, please now bestow the virtue and goodness to accomplish this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings through explanation and practice. You wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed for peace. What a great loss. Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great ways of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in glory for the fortunate disciples. And for Lama Ursel, Venerable One, to you whose kindness exceeds that of all the conquerors, for those wanderers in far-off places, especially the West, mindful of your loving concern for us and intentionally descending again into a family of a far distant land, we make this request. O Lama, please live long. And the Geshe-Shera, beloved teacher, leading your students toward wisdom and compassion, explaining through exacting discernment the steps of the graduated path. You are the unequal guide. Please live a long and stable life. Okay, everyone. So I'll write to Matt about our morning meditations and I'll let you know. But meanwhile, we'll just continue with the same time that's advertised on the website. And I'll just turn up bleary-eyed as usual. Okay. Lots of love, everybody. Sleep well. Thank you very much. Thank you for hosting and see some of you tomorrow morning. Thank you. Bye.